So I bet you're wondering what's been happening for the past 3 weeks. Servers are a shambles, possibly because of the Battlefield release. Now your division rival games have gone to the hardest they've ever been. You're struggling, right? You're probably losing a couple of games in a row. I'm going to explain to you exactly what's happening now. Again, what I'm going to say is the truth, okay? So if I upset people, please don't take it the wrong way. My job's not for you to like me like other creators. My job is for me to tell you the truth. You do with it as you please. My job's for you to get better at the game. So what's happening right now is the truth is 2/3, maybe even 4/5 of people should not be in the elite division. Simple. They should not be in the elite division because they're not elite division players. Okay. Now there's a few odd exceptions. You might see some of your players that are very casually being in division 2. So for example, I just chill around division 2 because I need to make content there. I still play in the elite division on an alternate. But of course, on my main is to have fun, or for player reviews, we stay in Division 2. Now, everyone got knocked back 2 divisions. Now, that's the thing. That's when everyone was struggling. When everyone went from Elite Division to Division 2. I'm going to explain to you what's exactly happening. And it's very important you understand what's happening, okay? When the game came out, the truth is, the game... I'm going to be honestly, half the pro players, in my opinion, don't even know what a good game is, okay? I'm going to be honest. Some of the people that have said some things about the games that are pro players are shocking. Their job's to abuse the game. Doesn't mean necessarily they know anything about the game, in my opinion, okay? So when the game comes out, there's this honeymoon period. There's a few select individuals, people like myself, and people get upset with us because we're very vocal on the first day. But the truth is, we're the few minority out of the many millions that actually know what they're talking about, okay? What we say doesn't really come into fruition. People don't understand it until October, November time. But we can see this on the first day. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but what I'm trying to say is that these things have been there from the first day, and we knew this. But the problem is, it's because the masses, they don't understand that. So when the game came out, there was no placement matches. Let's say your average player, your average pro player, let's say your average casual player, and your average serious player, let's say maybe serious, let's say Division 2 last year, let's say casual Division 5, and let's say pro Division 1. Now, because now there's an elite division, there's effectively 11 divisions, okay? You have 10 plus 1. Elite just means another one. So the elite division is based in new Division 1, okay? Because they all started in Division 10, the game was difficult. Now, obviously, because that meant that to rise up and climb through the ranks, it was hard because everyone started in Division 10. That's the correct way. That's the way it should be, by the way. Everyone should start in Division 10. But then what happened is that these milestones messed everyone up. Now, because you could not get, and I don't agree with this, because you could not get relegated, people were just gradually moving up over time just by random matchmaking. And what I meant by that is, let's say, for example, the average Division 5 player last year ends up becoming in Division 2. Now, why? It's because these milestones. If you reach this milestone and you lose 20 games in a row, nothing happens. But let's say, for example, in theory, you end up winning 3 games on the trot against, let's say, 3 players that are not as good as you naturally go up. But because you don't go down, no one is going down divisions, everyone is just going up. So what people who are not actually Division 2 players, let's say you're a Division 5 player, you're stuck at this milestone. In theory, eventually you're going to be versing 3 players who are similar to you, should not be in that division, that will eventually go up over time. And you could, in theory, win 3 games on a trot, or 4 games, whatever, in this situation, and then you reach the milestone. And then because you can't go down, this is happening all the way up until you get to the elite division. So now you have players that should not be in the elite division, 4/5 of player base that shouldn't be. So now what happens? EA decide, okay, you know what? Let's chuck back everyone that's in Division 5 to divisions, okay? So the elite division goes to Division 2, Division 2 goes to Division 4, Division 1 goes to Division 3, etc. So everyone goes back 2. So then that means that the average player now ends up in this division. Now what this means is this becomes, like I said, Division 10. So now the average pro player, casual player, and serious player are here. Now they're trying to get back to Division 1. So that's why now the range, it's much lower. So now the chance of you finding a player on the same level as you is going to be quite low because now the pros are there. So if when you first get pro, they're going to be good at the game. And then now everyone understands the game. They know what's broken, the L1 triangle. They know the meta. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/NealGuides, you can learn the meta before it even becomes a meta. Anyway, link is down below in the description for my FIFA School Series, as you can see over here. But enough with the ad. But what's happening basically is that now everyone's trying to go into Division 1, but you're versing your favorite pro player. Your favorite pro player is going to be relentless. Now, the truth is, everyone scores by counterattacks. Most goals in this FIFA are scored by, I would say, in my opinion, your counterattacks, people losing the ball in their half and you getting the ball back. And that's what people say, oh, my opponent got lucky if you lose. The truth is you probably get lucky just as much. It evens out over time. Now, the pro players, they don't care if you park the bus. They will recycle the ball and they will score. Most players, even in the elite division, don't even recycle the ball. It's the truth, okay? So if you're relying just on counters, if one pro player starts doing that, then everyone else starts parking the bus because they're thinking, oh my God, you know what? I'm not versing anyone who's very casual Division 10 anymore. I'm only versing players on my level, serious players and top tier players. The games are much harder. So everyone starts parking the bus. The pro players, and the top tier players, they go into the elite division. And some of the serious players, they go into the elite division because they know how to recycle. Everyone else gets stuck here. And that's what's happening. So the games that you're losing, you're not losing because you're getting worse. The truth is you should never be in the elite division in the first place. That is seriously what's going on. So that is why the games are harder. The game's not harder. Okay, the servers probably have something to play with it. The fact that Battlefield came out, and I'll be honest, I played that weekend. I played that game. I was in a game and I was 2-0 ahead. And I said straight away, it's done. That's the Battlefield release that was on a Saturday. I did not play that entire weekend league till Sunday night. That's the worst gameplay I've experienced since FIFA 22 released. That's the way it is, okay? So that obviously has an effect as well. But because everyone is parking the bus now, the game is a shams. So on PS5, the reason people like playing PS5 is because the AI animations are cracked. People who rely on AI defense, they like PS5 better because they're winning more. Why are they winning more? Because they're not defending correctly and they're getting away with it. So on the PS5 or next gen version, people can literally put their controller down, AI defense for them, because the hyper motion, the way the AI interceptions are, they're cracked. That's why people don't like going to PS4, because PS4, there's less of these AI animations and the game is more consistent. That's why people are playing PS4, because the game is more consistent. But if you're losing on PS4, you're going to keep staying on PS5 because that's where the AI defense is. Now on PS5, that's where all the pros are. That's where people want to compete are. So do you understand what's going on? So what's happening is you're basically getting funneled. And that's why now the average player that you're playing, the chance of you finding, for example, I don't know, let's say for example, you're like, here, the chance of you actually going to the milestone, let's say facing 3 average players, is much lower than it was when you were in Division 10, because back then everyone was in Division 10. But now as you race towards Elite Division, it funneled everyone out. So don't get disheartened if you don't get back into Elite Division, because half of you guys should not be back in there again. Some of you guys may have got better at the game, but the people that didn't learn the basics, as I said, you learn the basics. If you learn the basics of FIFA, like I teach you, you'll be an elite player. You don't need to use skill moves. You don't need to drop back. You don't need to do anything. Keep things simple, but learn it the right way. You'll be fine for every other FIFA. But I said what happens is, the meta comes out, okay, in September, October time, okay? People don't know what the meta is. Everyone struggles. People know what the meta is. They rely on it and then they camp it out. They never get better at the game, and the same thing happens every single year. Now you have to say to yourself, if you were in Division 3 last year, what division were you in the year before, the year before, and the year before that? If you've been in the same place, then you've been playing FIFA, in my opinion, the wrong way. You got to learn from it. If you're not moving up gradually year by year, you're not improving. And that's because you're relying on the meta. You're relying on things to abuse. And that is why what's happening. That's why the games are getting harder. That's why the servers are a bit of a shambles because of the Battlefield thing. But it's mainly the games that are getting harder. Now, as I said, the honeymoon period. When people like myself and a very few minority others, because don't forget, to do what we do, people hate us. That's the truth. People don't like me complaining. But my job is to make the game better. And if I make people aware of what's wrong with the game, it's a better chance of the game improving. Now, yes, I'm sure you like to watch someone that opens packs. But that's why the average viewer, myself, is much older. They're not kids. They want to know the truth. They want to get better at the game. So when we say something is wrong with the game, people get upset and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. Then when everything comes to fruition in October, everyone's like, you know what? Oh my God, the game is actually in a shambles. Then everyone starts to realize. So all this actually happened on the first day. It's that everyone discovers it now when the meta is released. Everyone starts struggling. Everyone is parking a bus, and now everyone is stuck in this rank. So if you don't get back into the Elite Division, don't worry, because you should not be there. You should only get into the Elite Division if you get there naturally. So don't say, okay, you know what, I've lost 10 games in a row. You cannot lose 10 games in a row. If you lost 10 games in a row, it's frustration, I guarantee you. From the averages, because the way the average between these divisions, from Division 1 to Elite Division, the player that you'll play is just so random. In my opinion, you could play anyone in theory, the skill level, because I said the milestone sales. So what's going to happen is, up until Season 3, this exact same thing's going to funnel. So as you're going to see, watch this video. If you watch this video later on in like whatever, this end of December, January, when Season 3 comes out, you're going to see the same thing's going to happen. People are going to get funneled back into this situation. You're going to get some couple lucky wins on the trot, and you're going to make your way to Elite Division. So don't worry now. If you're not in the Elite Division now, you will eventually get there. So don't worry, it will even out. But that is basically what is going on in terms of the game. That is why everyone is struggling, and that is why division rivals become the new foot champs. Well, not for the average player, I would say. For us, players like myself, division rivals was foot champs always been a joke. Even last year was very easy. This year, to be honest, for us, rivals is the way people try hard. Rival rules not worth it, so that's why foot champs come in. And you know the teams, it's part of it. But let me explain this to you. If you verse a pro player who's got a bronze team, and you're a Division 10 player with a God squad, you're still going to lose. Because the pro player knows what he's doing. So, yes, opponents may have better teams than you, but that's not the reason why you're losing in the game. Follow some of my meta teams if you're really, really confused, and that could probably help you get those extra couple of extra wins in the weekend league. And do check out some of my tactics setup, because those tactics setup are made for the average player. When you copy a pro player's custom tactics, everything's going to be on balance. The way I make my tactics is they are made so the average player can use them, and it improves their gameplay. I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, guys, that is what's basically going on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you much for watching. Take it easy, and of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.